Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 17th of November 2023. So, second video from me today, and looking forward to the weekend. And on Sunday, I'm going to be heading over to just the other side of Salisbury there for a talk by Sandy Adams, among others, and I'll be filming that as well. So look out for that coming next week, but it promises to be a really good event. Sandy Adams, of course, is a very interesting lady with a lot of insights that I find very valuable. So greatly looking forward to that. And I do need a bit of R&R over the weekend because I've been pretty busy this week with various bits and pieces as well as work. I've done quite a lot of handy jobs around the home. A few odd jobs needed doing. You know how you get this saying, things tend to sort of go or break down in threes. Well, certainly had that. First of all, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, the bathroom basin tap went and I had to put this new one on, and I didn't just do the tap, I had to do some of the pipe work below as well, replace that and sort that out. But I got that done. And then a couple of weeks ago, again in the bathroom, the extract fan went, so I replaced that. And this is just the grill thing in the ceiling, which I also replaced. The fan itself's up in the loft, but the grill itself was interesting to replace because the old one was square in a square hole, and I had to convert it to this round one in a round hole. So all interesting stuff. And then just today, a few days ago, the oven packed up. We were sort of sitting there in the kitchen, not in the kitchen, in the living room, waiting for our dinner to be ready in the oven in the kitchen. And then there was what we thought initially was a power cut. But what I always do is I go to the electrical box and just make sure nothing's tripped, and this big yellow one had actually tripped. It's the RCD on the board, which is quite a bit bigger than the normal MCBs, as we call them, the circuit breakers for each individual circuit. And when the RCD trips, it tends to take out a lot more. And the reason for it was the oven element had gone. Luckily, it was almost at the end of our the cooking cycle for our dinner, so the latent heat left in the oven carried us over the line and we were able to eat. But haven't had the main oven for a few days, so I've replaced the element now. And if you're interested in seeing how you replace an oven element, carry on watching at the end of this video, because I've filmed exactly how I did it. So if that sort of thing interests you, do carry on after I sort of say my farewells at the end of this video. So why am I calling this flat pack attitude? Because, well, the reason is basically I got some flat pack. This is some of it, only about a quarter of it. There's a lot more of it. This is actually some, funnily enough, some industrial shelving, because call me a nutter if you must, but I actually think this kind of industrial style racking looks pretty cool in a domestic environment. So that's what I've done. And of course it all came sort of in a flat pack type of way. And I don't know about you, I've done quite a lot of flat pack in my time, but it's always the same. When it's all laid out on the floor in about a zillion pieces, you tend to think, oh my goodness, where am I going to start? How am I ever going to get this done? It's just going to take absolutely forever. But then you make a start, you just follow the instructions step by step. You just take it one step at a time, and it never seems to be, in the end, hugely long before you've got the wardrobe or chest of drawers, or in this case the racking, built up, and then the job's done. So why am I talking about DIY and flat pack and all of this kind of thing? Well, I think when you build up flat pack especially, or you're faced with a load of odd jobs to do around the house, you have to have a certain attitude. Call it flat pack attitude, as I've named this video. You just have to sort of not be daunted, not be put off by how much there seems to sort of do, how much or how many pieces there seems to be there to put together. Just make a start, just get on with it, and it will eventually come good. And it's a bit of a funny thing, bit of a roundabout way of kind of using a metaphor for what we're up against. I don't know about you, but 2 or 3 years ago, when it was beginning to become apparent to me just how much of a problem we had with the powers that shouldn't be and all of their shenanigans and what they're trying to do to us and what they were trying to do to us, it just seemed like an absolutely impossible task. And I'm sure many people watching this will still be thinking it's an absolutely impossible task that we're facing. But both myself and many other people, many of whom have done way more than what I've done, of course, have just taken what I'd call a flat pack attitude and just thought, right, well, we're just going to make a start and we're just going to start putting things together and we're going to see what happens. And that is what so many people have done, and this has resulted in just so many amazing things being formed, being done, being made, whether it's sort of YouTube channels which have grown from almost nothing or nothing all the way up to tens or even hundreds of thousands of subscribers and are really making a huge impact, whether it's various organisations who again are making sort of huge impact on the freedom movement and the wider world. And we've just come so far in the last 3 or 4 years. And who would have thought it? Who would have thought that just ordinary people like you and me could make this kind of thing happen when it just seemed so impossible? So this, I suppose, really is a Friday afternoon or Friday evening, by the time you get to see this, I should think, kind of message of hope. I think we are winning. There's plenty of people who don't think we're winning within the freedom movement, but I really do think we are getting there. Yes, there's still a lot to do. We still need to have plenty of flat pack attitude. We still need to kind of get our heads down, carry on with the work, start new projects, start doing new things, carry on with the things we're already doing. But we will get there, and I am sure the powers that shouldn't be are starting to panic. Things certainly aren't going their way, and you can just see with all the stuff that's going on, all this of the stuff they're trying to throw at us, they really are they just, to me, seem to be throwing their toys out of the pram and just acting with total desperation now. So we'll just carry on. I'm going to carry on, and the next thing I'm going to be doing is, there's a lot of important speakers at this gathering I'm going to near Salisbury on Sunday. I will be filming them all, getting their messages out there, and who knows, each and every one of them have got important things to say which will be inspiring others to do things as well. And that's the way it goes. That's the way it's done. We just all do our bit to spread the word, get the word out there, and by us all doing that, believe you me, we will get there. Anyway, gonna leave it there. I think I've gone on long enough about this kind of thing, and just sort of remember, have a bit of flat pack attitude. Tim from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching. So I'm going to sort of fix this. I've got the new element here. Cost me about £23 from eSpares, and yeah, let's see if I can get this sorted out. So the first thing I've got to do, this is a hot point oven, by the way, and about 10 years old, so the old element hasn't done too badly, but we've got this cover here. There's the fan in the background. It's obviously a fan oven, and then the oven goes around that. So first thing to do is well, isolate the power supply, which is already done, and then we've got to take off 1, 2 and 3, 4 screws. So I'll do that now. So that's the cover off, that's it there, and yeah, you can see the apparatus clearly there now, the fan obviously. Now I've isolated this both on the wall switch and on the breaker on the board as well, just for extra safety. So you can see the old element there. It's like a coil round the fan and held with another 2 screws at the top and 1 at the bottom under that bracket there. Some of these screws can be a right horror to kind of undo. Don't be tempted to use oil or WD-40 unless you want your dinner tasting of that for the next 6 months. If it does need freeing off, just use olive oil or vegetable oil, something like that. Luckily so far I've been lucky these have come off quite nicely. It's held just by 2 wires there on spade connectors, neutral on the left, blue, and brown for live on the right there. So I'll just unclip those, and then that's the old element out. So there we go, there's the 2 elements out, old one on the left, new one on the right. And just to prove that it's definitely the element gone and causing the board to trip there, the RCD to trip, just doing what we call an insulation resistance test here. So got the 1 clip on the neutral and the other one on earth. So let's see what the reading is on this new one. Should be very, very high. 500 volts going through there, and yeah, more than 2,000 ohms, so that is a good element. And then if we do the same thing on the old element, the readings are going to be extremely low. So that's only 5 ohms. We've come down from, or 5.4 ohms, we've come down from 2,000 down to that. So that is a scrap element. Anyway, let's get the new one in. So that's the new element in place there, with the wires, or the spade terminals on the wires, connected up to the new element. So just got to push it back into place, put the screws on, come back when that's done. That's the new element in place, 2 top screws back in, and that bottom bracket done up. And we'll just give the fan a spin, just to make sure it's not hitting the new element, otherwise you're getting an annoying sort of kind of sound, but we're okay, there's plenty of clearance on this one. Cover back on, and I'll just give this a quick wipe out, put the oven door back on, which I've removed by the way. It comes off real quick and easy. I'll show you how that comes out actually as well, and then we'll fire this up to see if we've got any heat. The oven door is back in. When you undo the tab things I'm about to show you, you have to sort of jiggle it a little bit to get it out, jiggle it a bit to get it to slot back in, but these things either side just go into 2 slots and then jiggle it until it seats properly, and then all you do is you just flip those back until it clicks, and then that little tab there you go, and then that kind of locks it in place. So give it a little test by swinging the door up and down, and it's not going anywhere. Right, so the breaker's back on, the isolator on the wall's back on. Just reset the clock, because believe it or not, if you don't set the clock to the right time, some ovens, I don't know if it's the case with this one, but some of them don't work. Crazy. That's the clock set to the right time, and we'll just fire it up. The switch for the main oven is this one here on the right. We'll just put that onto full bore, maximum temperature, and I'm probably going to let it run for probably half an hour to an hour, because these new elements sometimes have stuff on them which has to burn off, so I'll make sure that happens. But hopefully this will be a repaired oven. I'll come back in 5 minutes, see if it's heating up. And it's only taken me, well, it's 12:53. I think I started about half an hour or so ago, so it's only taken me, let's say, 40 minutes tops. Yeah, quite an easy job. Would have been considerably harder had those screws been more of a pig to get out, but these ones were kind to me. And there we go, the light's gone out, so we are up to temperature, and I can feel the heat coming off of it. But if I opened it up, oh, it's red hot, yeah. The fan's whirring away nicely. So yeah, one repaired oven.